I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side. Thank you for tuning in to episode number 10 of This Week in Pali Football. And man, it's a wonderful time of the year when you have another season, another extra season. So we've already gone through our regular season here at Pali Football. 10-0 is what the final record was. I'm just going to give a shout out to Coach and his team. Just really putting it down, for 10 straight weeks, right? So if you follow with the show, you know that their very first game, week 0, they did not have an opponent. And so that was used as their bye week. That is typically in the middle of the season. And so for 10 straight weeks, the coaches, the parents, the fellas have really gone all in and played some extraordinary football this season. So they're 10-0, and they're into the second half of the season, which is what you really want to play for. And you want to play for that top division. So Pali, the varsity football team this week, faces Garfield. Garfield is 8-2. Pali is 10-0. And so they're kind of closely ranked in the open division. Pali being ranked number 4 and Garfield ranked number 5. And so we're going to see, if we can continue this football season, and I'm hopeful that they can. And so tonight I have the playoff edition of This Week in Pali Football. So without further ado, I'm going to add our wonderful co-host, if you will. If I can get my mouse to work correctly. We have our wonderful co-host, Coach Dylan Smith. What's going on, Coach? How you feeling?
Feeling great. 2 more days and we finally get to play a football game, so I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the Division I teams, and so some of the teams that we faced are continuing on. I think Venice won, I believe Fairfax won, and also Hamilton.
No, Uni won.
Okay,
yeah,
there
no,
it is.
Uni. Yeah, Fairfax actually plays Uni this Friday, so it's a rematch, Western League.
Yeah, I was scrolling on TikTok, so that's they were announcing all the winners from the Division 1, 2, and 3, divisions, and so I was just trying to remember, but I do remember seeing Venice winning, and so that's pretty cool. So, how are you feeling about just being involved in another round of playoffs? This time in the open division.
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. We got a home game for the open division and a good opponent who I think, we match up well on both sides of the ball. So I'm excited to see how it goes. Unfortunately, it's going to rain, so kind
Ooh,
of favors Garfield a little bit with
ooh,
their running attack and with us passing. But we wet the balls up a lot at practice today, just to kind of get used to what's going to happen Friday night. Um, we're looking at the weather closely, and it looks like it's going to be at its lowest during game time. So we shouldn't have too much trouble with the wet ball, and but we still got to practice, just in case. And we
absolutely.
added some more run plays to our packages this week, just in case. So I feel good about Friday.
Yeah, Pally enters this game, as I said a couple of minutes ago, ranked 4. Garfield is ranked number 5. So let's go ahead and dive into how both of these football teams, these powerhouses, if you will, stack up. So, first question, Coach, what has been the key to remaining consistent all season long?
Just the way we practice. I just try to harp on practicing fast, game speed, and just keeping that same routine. We can't, as much as we want to, kind of get away from monotony, but we have to just keep everything the same. The routine, the same drills. We'll have different drills here and there, but we just try to keep practicing each day or each week the same, so kids are familiar with what we're doing, and we can't have too many different concepts or too many different styles. We have to keep everything consistent and the same. So we just try to do that each week. And Monday we practice one thing. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's kind of the same situation. So
Mhm.
kids already kind of know what to expect each week.
Yeah, you kind of took away answered my question number 2, which was this week's matchup features a 4 and 5 ranked team in the city. How are you approaching this game from a preparation standpoint? So you kind of talked about it a little bit with being prepared for the weather because it is supposed to rain this weekend. I believe Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So you kind of talked about
Yep.
that aspect, but you didn't talk too much about just the defensive aspect in terms of what how you're preparing, getting the boys ready. We know the ball is going to be slippery, especially if it is actually raining. And you just said something I hadn't even thought about. I need to I need to break out a parka. I need a Pally parka. You know what I'm saying? We need Pally to give us a parka so we can be nice and warm. But seriously, how are you guys? Again, what are some other approaches that you guys are taking as you only have a few more days to prepare for this game?
Yeah, I mean, just emphasizing what Garfield's going to do and how hungry they're going to be, and we just have to match the energy. We've been on the defense all week about obviously wrapping up and tackling. We did a lot of that. Today we did form tackling, but we're not bringing it down because we got some injuries to the defense. We still have two starters out Friday, so we tried to still get some tackling in without you know get, getting guys injured further.
Mm.
So just continue to harp on obviously tackling, playing with energy, playing fast, playing through the whistle, and just telling them that we believe in our scheme, we believe in them. Don't look at the other team and see how big they are and think, oh, all of a sudden we can't do it. We have hungry, resilient kids that can play against anybody. So we just try to keep reminding them of that.
Yeah, so I mean, you kind of talked about them, being big. Are they really that big? Now, what I probably need to do is look at some of the tape that if I can find any tape on Max Preps. But are they a nice size, or do they match up well with our guys from Pally?
They're nice size. I think they average about around 200 each lineman, maybe a little bit more, but um, they do have a package where they will run 10 linemen on the field and then just one running back. So they're gonna be running heavy, and they're just gonna try to pound the ball, but we have to be smart and use our speed over their size.
Yeah. So, Pally averages about 318 passing yards per game, while Garfield racks up about 331 rushing yards. You kind of alluded to it a little bit. How do you plan to handle their strong ground attack?
I'm sorry, can you put that last?
Yeah. So how do you plan to handle their strong ground attack, because they're not a passing team. They're definitely, and to your point when you just said they putting 9, 10 linemen on the line. That's kind of crazy. So how do you plan? What is your plan without giving up too much? Because they might have some spies. They might be keying in on this week in Pali football. So as much as you can, how do you plan to handle their strong ground attack?
We have a plan offensively to try to keep us on the field as much as possible, and then, and like I said, use our speed and try to shoot gaps and play low as much as possible. We have Nehemiah and Caesar, who are two of our biggest linemen. We're going to play D line this week and try to clog up the middle. So,
Okay. Okay.
we move some things around, and Nehemiah moves well, for his
That's
size. So
a big boy.
I'm excited to see. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and he moves well. He has deceptive speed. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he does this week, and I know he's excited. But like I said, we just move some guys around, um, and like I said, just use our speed as much as possible, and offensively try to keep their offense off the field as much as we can.
Now, shout out to Nemo. So, interesting fact, I've known his parent. Well, I've known Nemo since he was born, and I've known his parents for like forever. So when they were teenagers. So just a little shout out. I'm kind of excited to see him because he's a big dude. So I'm excited to see him kind of move around a little bit. Your defense averages about 94 tackles per game compared to Garfield's 52. How does the defensive discipline, or how has it been strong, this year? And you kind of talked about it a little bit where you will wrap, you're encouraging the boys to kind of wrap up and not kind of grab at the guys. So what is the key to them? Maybe one of the keys is being on the field for so long, but another key, maybe you can share another defensive discipline that has been, through and through for, so far this season.
As far as Friday, we just have to get them off the field as much as we can. We got to, create 3 and outs as much as possible, but get them into passing situations. Early downs, first and second down, we got to really stop them without them getting at, 3rd and 1s or 3rd and shorts where they feel like they can run the ball and get first downs and, keep their drive alive. So if we can get early down stops or even, tackle for losses and get them into loss situations where they have to throw the ball on 3rd down, I think that'll feed into our strength. And again, continue to tackle. We have to gang tackle. We can't just rely on one person getting to the ball and making a tackle. We got to have 3, 4, 5 guys getting to the ball, punching the ball out, creating turnovers. We have to play together. We can't, rely on one linebacker or corner or D lineman to do everything ourselves. We have to really play as a collective group.
So what makes this playoff matchup feel different compared to your regular season games? Now, automatically, I know you probably say, Mr. Riley, it's a playoff game. We in the playoffs. But I could probably answer this with myself, but I would prefer to hear it from you being the coach. What makes this playoff matchup feel different compared to, some of the other opponents that you faced during the regular season?
I was literally going to say that word for word, what you said, actually. But no, it's just, I think Garfield's a very good team. Probably the biggest team we're going to see next to Mary Star. They're going to be very physical. So, our defense has to be ready for a physical game. It's going to feel like the Mary Star game where they were just, hitting us and coming at us every chance they got. And it's not going to be a finesse game where both teams are throwing the ball 40 times. They're going to, like I said, send 10 linemen out there, run the ball. The defensively, they're not as aggressive as other teams we've seen, but they're very disciplined, sound defense, and they have some good sized D linemen. But we just have to really be. We can't make many mistakes. We have to limit the penalties, which I've been proud of all year. We haven't had a lot of them, so we have to continue to do that. But it's probably going to be the best team we've seen all year, next to Mary Star, Brentwood, and you just got to be ready every single series.
Yeah. No, I wasn't at the Mary Star game, but just looking at the score and how it was going back and forth, looking at it, when I think I was out of town that particular week, but just looking at it, like, okay. And it came down to the end. And so,
Yeah.
hopefully this game won't come down to the end, but if it does, hopefully our guys will be able to, make good plays, good tackles. And then, I just want to kind of highlight a couple of our players like we normally do. You got, Jack, you got Damari Discern, you got Malachi Ross. What have you told, or what kind of conversation have you been in with those guys in terms of just, because right now they're the highlights of the offense. I know Harrison Carter is out, and so they're going to have to put it on their shoulders. So what has been the encouraging word for them as they mentally prepare and physically prepare for this week's playoff football game?
I haven't had to say much. It's just they're a confident group. They know what they can do, what they've been doing all season long. We just try to show them what we can exploit and attack it, and they're all ready for it. And even the linemen, I think this is the most complete line we've had all year. We've had injuries throughout the line, but I think, excuse me, these last 2 weeks, I think this is the first time we've had our offensive line as a whole together. So I think offensively, it's just kind of like, let's do what we've been doing, and let's encourage the defense. Let's help them out on our side of the ball as much as we can, and let's put a complete game together.
Yeah, and speaking of the other side of the ball, there's three phases. You got the offense, of course, the defense, and you got some guys who are some goons, on the field. You got Augie, you got let me see, Enzo, you got Travion, you got a whole bunch of folks over there just causing a ruckus. Again, what has the conversation been with them in terms of just mentally preparing them? Because it's going to be, if they really run the ball like some of the stats indicate that they do on max preps, then they're going to have to bring their hard hats, right, to be able to stop. So again, what encouraging words besides not reaching but really wrapping around? What have some of the encouraging words been to that side of the football team?
I mean, just do your job. Don't try to do too much.
Yeah.
If everybody does their job, we'll be a complete defense. We don't have to over pursue. We don't have to, think too much. Just we know what they're going to do. We just have to make the play and just be aggressive. If we're not aggressive, it's going to be a long night for everybody. So we got to be aggressive. Got to do our job individually and not be afraid to take on hits or take on blockers and, obviously wrap up. But I think our game plan is pretty solid this week, and we just got to go out there and execute it.
Yeah, and then the third phase, and we haven't talked about this, is the special teams. And so my man Schwartz, Mr. Schwartz, the kicker, we kind of forget, but he's been very consistent since joining the game. Do you think, with the rain and the weather like it's predicted to be, do you think he might be a factor in this playoff football game this Friday? We have to make all our extra points. I don't like going for two as much as everybody yells at me to go for two, but obviously if we have to, we will. But, I have confidence in Carter. He's been consistent all year. This will be his first time kicking in the rain, so we'll be interesting to see how he does. It'll rain. It's supposed to rain tomorrow at practice, so we'll be able to see how he does and his steps and everything. But it's fun that we haven't kicked a single field goal all year. We've only kicked extra points, so I think he'll be okay just kicking extra points. And if we need a field goal, we'll have to figure that part out. But like I said, if offense and defense does what they're supposed to do, we wouldn't have to rely on Carter as much and put pressure on him at the end of the game or throughout the game. Wait a minute, Coach. Did you say he has not attempted a field goal?
We have not attempted one field goal all year. Wow. We've gone for it. Yeah, if we get inside a certain point, we go for it. But I know it's range, and if we get into a certain point, we have to go for it. So if we get into a certain range and we get to three, then we'll kick the field goal. But we haven't got to that point yet. So
okay.
This is
Okay.
probably the first time in my career I've been on a team where we haven't kicked a single field goal.
That's crazy. Cause I'm trying to think here. I'm just like, okay, I mean, you would know best because you're the head coach, right? So I'm just like, wow, okay. Because no, and the reason why I asked, because I think during one of the games, maybe it was during the Venice game, um, they kind of took away just his ability to make some good plays with the kicking game, because they would kind of bring it out, and then also for us too, they would kick off to us, and it was just like we couldn't do what we needed to do because they had some long kicks, right? So just kind of
Right.
reminiscing about him and just his availability. Man, okay. So now I'm gonna have to go back and check Max Preps just to see. But yeah, no, he's pretty much on target for PATs and all that kind of good stuff. So,
Yeah.
man, you just got my mind spinning right. My mind is kind of blown right now because I'm thinking at least he made one or two field goals. But if you
We have
said
not
it,
attempted one. We
wow,
haven't even attempted one. Yeah.
wow, okay, okay.
I
Well,
see him in practice every day, so I I know his range and I know what we can and can't do. So,
yeah,
but I mean, he comes from soccer. It's a totally different ball, kicking a soccer ball and kicking a football, and we kind of just he kind of came out late. I think he came out the third game, and
yeah.
we just kind of threw him out there. So, and not and a lot of times we don't have goalposts to practice on, so it's hard for us to even do field goals and PAT.
This
So that's really the main reason why. I think we've practiced with the goalpost at UCLA, and so we did some PATs there. I mean field goals there, but since then we haven't had any goalposts to practice on, so it's been kind of difficult for him to get that consistency.
You know what? You're yes, yes, man. I'm just like, man, okay, that's amazing right there. So yeah, so PATs is pretty much the ball is in the center of the hash marks, and so but with the field goals, it's either going to be kind of to the left or to the right, or you might be
Right,
in the middle if you're lucky. So I kind of get
right.
that. Wow. Okay, my mind is blown again. Um, so then, I'm really almost done, Coach. What has been the biggest lesson that you've learned? Leading this team to a 10 and 0 record this season.
The biggest lesson. I think if you want it bad enough, doesn't matter what obstacles you face, you can reach it. From the beginning, we haven't had a weight room. Um, at times we haven't had a football field to practice on. And like I just mentioned, we haven't had goalposts to practice field goals and PATs,
The
and
small things.
and we still right. And the small things are really, the small things are not small when you don't have it. It's like, if you cut your thumb off, you realize you need that thumb when you thought you needed it, when you
Absolutely.
when you had it. But yeah, so there's a lot of things that we haven't had that a lot of teams, have, and um, I made an analogy the other day. It's like, if we're in a race and everybody start at the 100-yard meter mark, we start at the 400-meter mark and trying to catch up. And
Yeah.
these kids have done a great job, staying in the race. So, like I said, just you know, it doesn't matter what your situation is. If you want it bad enough, you can achieve it.
Yeah. When you think about this playoff matchup, what would a win mean for this team, and especially for the senior class? And I'll probably ask you that once we continue to win, but just for this playoff game, what would it mean to you and the seniors, of course, if win? I'll say win when you guys come out with a win on Friday.
I mean, our goal was to win a championship and not just win league or go undefeated. So I think going beyond that would mean a lot to everybody. Having a chance to win a championship, the season not being over. You can lose in week 6 and still have, 4 more games to play, whatever it is, and continue. But this is it. If this week we lose, so being able to continue our goal, and you know, 2 more games after this week, it's right there. So um, these kids don't want the season to be over. They want to continue, and again, only you win this one and then the semifinals and championship. So I think see the goal right there. It's within our reach, and you know, I don't know the last time Palisades won an open division game, but it's just I think it would be huge for everybody.
Yeah, I'm looking at the. I kind of want to finish up the interview, just kind of taking a look at the bracket. So, if you're new to Los Angeles City football, there are several divisions. There's an open division where we are. There's a division 1, 2, and 3. And so just about everybody who has a football team just about is a part of the playoff situation, right?
Right.
And depending on where, your kind of record is or, the ranking, I forgot the terminology, but they rank you at the end of the season. And they'll put you in a bracket. And so we're in the open bracket, top 8 teams in the city. And so as you see right here, Coach, you might not be able to see, but I'm sure you've seen the bracket before. We have the 5th seed, Garfield, and then we play the winner, or the winner of our game plays Carson and King Drew. Kind of looking ahead, and, it's 50-50, percent chance that we would face King Drew. What would it feel like to kind of go back and play against those guys, the guys that we lost to last season in the championship game?
I'm all for sportsmanship, but if we get to King Drew, I'll probably try to score 100 points. That's all I'm saying about that.
Okay, all right. Enough said. Enough said. So that means we have to handle our business, and then of course King Drew, they have a worthy opponent by playing Carson, and so again we have the quarterfinal. We're in the quarterfinals, and then you have the bottom of the bracket. You have San Pedro and Crenshaw, Kennedy and Birmingham, and so those are some pretty decent teams, and I kind of like our chances this week, and I'm sure you do as well. And we both have to play with the same weather. So, if it's sunny, if it's rainy, if it's foggy, we all have that same element. So it just depends how each team adapts to the weather. And so we can't use weather as an excuse to, hey, we didn't play well because both of us are playing, in the same situation. So, so yeah. And then, if we, when we win, there's a game next week, and then the championship game on the 29th. And so I do know, and I just found that out that yesterday, that our game is being played at LA Southwest College.
Correct.
So that's pretty cool. Let me see. And I did put everything. If you're watching on the YouTube, I did put the details in the description. And I also found out today that tickets are available right now on GoFan. So that's kind of cool as well. I was trying to find that last night, couldn't find it, but I happened to look at this bracket today, and it was there. So that's pretty nice. So if you're interested in going to the game this coming Friday at 7:00, LA Southwest College, go to gofan.co and search for Palisades, and you could buy a ticket. Coach, any final words, man? I know we kind of went late later on during the week. I had an engagement on Monday, so we couldn't go live. So thank you, first of all, for switching up the days. But any final words as we kind of move into just, I'm sure you've been in playoff mode all week. What would you like to say to the fans, to the parents, and maybe to the players and alumni who plan to come out and support the Pali varsity football team this Friday?
No, I think we're going to need everybody this week to come out and support. I know it's going to be raining, but, bring your heaters, your blankets, your umbrellas, whatever you can to stay dry. But, we're going to need everybody there this week. We don't want the season to end, on Friday. The kids, they want to continue at least 2 more games and then 2 more after that. So, we're really excited. I think we had a decent practice this week, and, we just, we'll play anywhere at this point. As you, can tell, we've been playing all over the place. But, like I said, the kids are amped up to continue this season, and we'll need everybody there and loud as you can be. And again, thanks for everybody's support, and I think it's going to be a good game on Friday, and just looking forward to next week's practice if we can and continue this season.
Well, Coach, check it out. Win or lose, we'll still go live on Monday. I'm thinking.
Hold on.
Wait, no.
The Raiders and the Cowboys play Monday night, so I don't think neither one of us will be available that Monday.
Hey, we can do like we did with the Dodgers game. We can each have it on right here.
Look back and forth. Volley it back and forth.
See, listen, I haven't even looked at the schedule, so I'm just like, oh, okay. So they play Monday.
This Monday, yeah. So
okay, they play in Vegas or in Dallas?
I think it's in Vegas. It's in Vegas, yeah.
It's in Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Or we can do a nightcap after the game.
Absolutely.
It is around 5 o'clock, so I guess it would be over by 8. So.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. Okay, that's interesting. All right. Wow. Wow. Okay. See, Coach, you blow my mind tonight because I forgot about it. Our teams are just thinking up the joint. So it is what it is. Hopefully, I know they got some defensive pieces, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna be I'm just counting down to the draft at this point.
Yeah,
it's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, I'm like, okay, we might not even be able to get a wild card. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean,
right.
there's still a lot of football left. A lot of different things can happen. So you know how the Cowboys always say it's always our year. So it still might be.
Never know.
Coach, do me a favor. I appreciate you going live. We had a shortened, we're just right at 30 minutes. So we've had a shortened broadcast tonight. So just hang out in the green room for me. Let me close up the show, and then we'll come back and chop it up at the end.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So, man, just trying to get the mindset of Coach Smith as he's preparing the football team for this wonderful matchup. We're ranked number 4. They're ranked number 5. We're 10-0. They're 8-2, and so it's going to be a good matchup. They run the ball a lot, and we pass the ball a lot. So, this weather definitely is going to have a major impact, I believe, on the game. And Coach said they've been practicing with the wet ball. So just in case, it's raining during the football game, folks will have an opportunity to have practice holding and using a wet ball during the football game. So a shout out to Coach for using that strategy. And, I'm feeling good about our chances against Garfield. And so I know we've played them several times in the past. They beat us once. We beat them. I remember playing on a Saturday, I think during COVID. They came out and brought all their entourage, and we played. So I'm looking forward to a wonderful, wonderful time this coming Friday, 7 o'clock, LA Southwest College. Get your tickets at gofan.co. And then as I close up, let's see. As I close up, just reminding you to go ahead and like the video. Comment and leave a comment and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime we drop a brand new video or we happen to go live as well. So again, thanks, Coach, for hopping on. I am Mr. Riley coming to you live from the West Coast, the best coast, the West Side, and we will see you again this Friday, LA Southwest College. Number 4 is going up against number 5, and I'm putting all my Dolphin nets on number 4 to win. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood.